and it starts accumulating and it damages the neurons. We think accumulation of this enzyme seems to damage the neurons. That could be the reason they're dying in this genetic case. Now, to remember this, Lou Gehrig, baseball is played on the baseball diamond. It's played on grass. What's another name for grass? Sod. Sod. When you need a new lawn, you ask the gardener to bring new sod. So SOD1 gene mutations and Lou Gehrig's disease. Students sent me an email. John, it was Lou Gehrig's. They asked me what gene. I didn't even know there was a gene. There's several genes, but superoxide dismutase, that was the one that was on this exam. Now, another thing I want you to remind you of, what's going to accumulate? TAR DNA binding protein 43. This is going to accumulate. And again, it's not causing it, but you'll see it accumulating in the motor neurons that are dying. You'll see it accumulate. And it accumulates not just in Lou Gehrig's, but it also accumulated in the frontal, temporal, lobular degenerative diseases like Pick's disease. Pick's can act like a, pricks. So that's how I remember that one. So you get dementia and you get bad personality changes. All right, I think you got this. I think you got it. So let me just finish up by reminding you of what I just told you. Pathology is loss of the motor neurons in the motor cortex. You're also going to get loss of that's the upper, and you're going to get loss of the anterior horn cells. That's the lower motor neurons. So you're going to see neurogenic atrophy. Atrophy, denervation. When you get denervation, you tend to get grouping of fibers. They'll be small, they're angulated, and they tend to have fiber grouping. You can also see target fiber sometimes on an NADH stain, but again, kind of low yield. What's more likely to be asked is the neurons that are still alive may have target fibers, but they're going to have the accumulation of TAR DNA binding protein. Now, this is normally found in the nucleus because it's a DNA binding protein. But in ALS, it's ubiquitinated and it accumulates in the cytoplasm, just like it did in frontal temporal lobular dementia. So both can get that. Now, as I mentioned, 5 to 10% of Lou Gehrig's disease is familial. It's usually dominant, and they like mutations in the copper-zinc superoxide dismutase gene on chromosome 21. The misfolded SOD1 protein causes the unfolded protein response, where you get ubiquination. If you can't get rid of it fast enough, the neuron dies. So that would explain why you get neuronal death in the genetic forms. Cool. All right, so don't miss that one. That happened to my mom. And by the way, did you ever fail anything in your life? I failed 2 things. Yeah, you guys participated, you answered, you got some stuff right, you got some stuff wrong. It's okay. I love you. No matter what you say, I love you because you're trying your best. You're working hard. You're going to be successful. In fact, usually you learn from what you get wrong. Have you been on the wards much yet? If you've been on the wards, when they ask you questions, you're like, I don't know that. I don't know that. I don't know that. That's how you learn. Because you get so embarrassed, you have to go look it up, and it was so painful, you remember. So all the stuff I did wrong on the wards and I got yelled at, I remember forever. So unfortunately, that's one of the ways we learn, by getting stuff wrong. So there's no wrong. It's only wrong if you hurt somebody, right? So we got to get things wrong when we're being supervised so they can fix it before we hurt somebody, right? Once you're attending, no one's watching you anymore. As a medical student, everyone's watching you. As a resident, the fellows are watching you. As a fellow, the attending's watching you. As an attending, you better learn it. So don't be afraid to get stuff wrong on the wards. Take a chance. You get it right? Yeah. You get it wrong? Damn it. I got it wrong twice now. I better learn this. So you want to learn. It's kind of the Socratic method. I'm going to keep asking questions and try to pull it out. You make you tear up, make you cry, because I want you to learn this so that by the time you're attending, you'll always know it. All right, we got 2 more things here to do, and then we'll move forward. But I want to just share with you the 2 things I failed. I failed English, my own language, and now I'm a professional speaker. And I failed music, and now I have 3 albums out. I should have failed finance. I'd be rich instead of borderline homeless. But yeah, I failed music because they put me in choir or singing class during puberty. My voice was changing. I couldn't sing. And they thought I was joking. They thought I was fooling. No, I couldn't hit any notes. They made me stand against the wall. Seriously, everybody else was singing, and I had to stand against the wall while everybody else was singing. I was crying. I was so sad. I was so embarrassed. It was terrible. I was traumatized for life. They said, "You have no talent. You're terrible. You're tone deaf. Go stand against the wall, and we're gonna fail you." And they failed me, and I was so embarrassed. I failed. Well, guess what? When my mom passed away, well, unfortunately, our parents are usually going to die before we are. So when we lose our parents, it's a big hole. It's a big hole in your life. You don't realize how important your parents are until they're gone. It's a big hole in your life. So to get through that, I just sat down. I started writing out my thoughts, and I wound up writing a song. I didn't even know I could. They told me you're a retard. You have no talent whatsoever. I just started writing some poetry, and next thing I know, it was a song. I wrote a song I didn't even know. It's the first song I ever wrote. It was about my mom. And I'll send it to you. I call it Linda's Song. It's about my mom. First song I ever wrote. And it'll teach you not just about Lou Gehrig's, but you'll also see what happened to my mom. So you'll have some clinical experience of how it presents. Remember, it starts with usually weakness, so they're dropping stuff or they're tripping. They're having trouble with movement. So that's a classic way to present, and it's all motor, no sensory. So listen to the song, and you can hear about my mom, and you'll learn about the disease too. And you'll see, I have no talent, but I wrote music. Now, I still can't sing. I mean, that's obvious. I'm saying for you guys, you almost had hearing loss. I know. It doesn't stop me from trying. So remember, they told me I can't do it. They told me, you got no talent. You can't do it. You're not good enough. They told me I can't do it, but you can do anything. You never let anybody tell you can't. Oh, your board score is not that good. You'll never match that. Oh, you're from Terre Haute. Whatever. You're not a scorer. You don't let scores define you. You don't let what happened in the past define you. Oh, it wasn't an average student. No, you're average among genius. You know that, right? You guys are geniuses. Yeah, I know you feel average, but boo-hoo, you're an average genius. Nobody can make it through medical except geniuses. So never let anybody stop you because they're going to try to. They're going to say, oh, you don't apply for that. You'll never get in. Yes, you can. As long as you work hard, you impress the right people. If you work hard and show me you can do the job, why wouldn't I take you? You show up, you got good personality, you're cool, you can do anything in this life. Make sense? So I'll get off my soapbox. But I thought I would never make it through the USMLE. I looked at those books, I piled up all my books for my first 2 years, and I said, how am I going to remember all this for this exam? I thought I'd never make it through, but I did. You put in your time, for the next few months, you work your butt off. You work your butt off. You get through this hurdle, you slay this dragon, and then you get on the wards, and it's fun again. It's fun again because you get to go see patients. You get to see diseases. You remember it. You remember it when you see it. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a train. It's actually good. It's good things are coming your way. So put the time in now. Get the best score you can, and whatever it is, make the connection. Show them on the wards that you can do optho. Show me you can do optho. Do an audition. If you audition with me and do some research with me and I like you, why can't you get in? You can get in. You can get into anything. Okay? There's always a way. All right, I get off my soapbox. 2 more diseases and we're done with this tape. But every once in a while, we need some inspiration. Now, for thiamine deficiency, this is called vitamin B1. Vitamin B1, we get what's called beriberi. Beriberi. Now, there's 2 forms. We have wet beriberi and dry. So this is slowly evolving over time as you get deficient over time. And it's usually alcoholics because alcoholics only eat alcohol. So alcoholics. But anybody who is malnourished can get this. So first you're going to get, well, you can get either one. But wet beriberi is very common. Wet beriberi because you're in congestive heart failure. You'll have pitting edema. You'll have ascites. You're going to be wet. And then dry beriberi is in the brain. You're going to get Wernicke's encephalopathy first, and then long-term you get Korsakoff's, which is very bad. Now, Wernicke, that's the ataxia, the nystagmus, the ophthalmoplegia, where you can't move your eyes, the confusion. These are the classic things you're going to get. Classic. Now, what you're going to see at autopsy is you'll see hemorrhage and necrosis of those perky little things at the base of the brain. They're called the mammillary bodies. So just remember, alcoholics are about boobs, right? They get gynecomastia because they get cirrhosis. They get their own boobs. They're always chasing boobs at the bar. And the boobs of the brain, those perky things at the base of the brain, undergoes hemorrhagic necrosis when you have long-term thiamine deficiency. Now, thiamine may reverse some of these manifestations, the ataxia, the nystagmus. These things may go away if you can get them thiamine. But long term, it will become irreversible, especially when you get to Korsakoff's. This is the long-term complication. This, again, is part of dry beriberi. So if Wernicke is untreated, it will become irreversible memory losses and confabulation. Remember that? They know they forgot, so they make stuff up. They make, because they can't remember. So they make stuff up, and whatever they make up, they believe it. If you give them a lie detector, they believe it because they don't remember what happened. And this is clearly going to be a permanent problem. They don't remember it. It's gone. They make stuff up. And they also get psychosis too. So that's Wernicke. Psychosis and confabulation. Psychosis and confabulation, that's Korsakoff's. Again, usually at that point, it's irreversible. So you got to get this thiamine on as quick as possible. All right, last one is B12 deficiency. So thiamine deficiency and B12 deficiency. Now, this we know will give us a megaloblastic anemia, but in terms of neurologic, you're going to get subacute combined degeneration of the spinal cord. Combined means both. You're going to have both the cortical spinal tracts, right? Pyramidal correspond, that's motor, and sensory, your dorsal columns. Dorsal columns are dying. So that's what's dark here is the cortical spinal tract and the dorsal columns. So what symptoms? Well, you're going to get sensory loss like proprioception, you lose vibration, and of course motor, wrist drop, foot drop. But here's the rule. B12 deficiency can give you any neurologic problem under the sun, even dementia. But the most common is motor. So wrist drop and foot drop is most common. But you can get any problems. Position sense, vibratory sense, sensory loss, ataxia, dystaxia, you name it, they can get it. Now, you got to get the vitamins back as quick as you can, and you can get improvement. But the problem is duration. The longer you've had the deficiency, the more permanent it becomes. So usually, if you've gotten to the point where you have complete paraplegia, you're a paraplegic, that's pretty severe. Their recovery is very poor. So it really depends on how long you've had the deficiency. That will determine whether it's reversible or not. So make sure you treat this. And again, B12 deficiency, it's very testable. They really like to ask it. All right, I think you guys got it. So let's end right here. And on the next tape, we'll come back.